Okay. Okay. Oops.
Would you like to know the secret for using social media to gain success in real estate?
Just be yourself.
We're going to show you what we do on our social media channels to help generate business for our real estate.
Nuggets of information is what you'll leave with, hopefully, that you'll be able to use towards your business.
So please join us, John and Cheryl, for how to be authentic on social media.
Okay, hello KW. Good morning. This is Carlos, your Market Center Tech Trainer for KW Advantage and KW Experience, hosting today for the KW sessions presented by KW Advantage and KW Experience. Our topic for today is about social media and authenticity. I'd like to ask people to mute for now, and we're gonna go with the conversation. Um, with me is the lovely TT helping me with this with this session. If you have any questions along the whole program, please feel free to leave it on chat or send it to Tristan, and we'll have that asked to the panel. So for today, we have um, an awesome panel ready to share their skills. I'm going to start off with Barb Best. So Barb Best truly is the best when it comes to being her authentic self, whether it is in person or in social media. Barb is never afraid to be her genuine self and let her amazing personality shine. I'm a subscriber. I'm a fan. This along with her sales background, amazing negotiating skills, and her high level of customer care have helped Barb build a successful career in real estate. So without further ado, let's introduce our first guest, who is as authentic as it gets, Miss Barb Best. Spotlight, please.
Yes.
Are we spotlight? Spotlight. Okay, there you go.
Hello? Hey, Carlos.
Hi, Barb.
Okay.
Now we can hear you. Where are you off to, Barb?
Thank you. I'm off to a situation, but I'm being my authentic self with my baseball hat. I just wanted to say about authenticity. It's best to be yourself because everyone else is taken.
Oh, that's good advice. Okay. There you go. Comments are just flowing in. Okay, so thank you for being with us, Barb. And I love how authentic this is. Again, this is as authentic as it gets. I love the cap. Thank you for sharing your time with us. So I'm gonna start off with asking, Barb, can you tell something about yourself, the length of time you're in business, um, volume for the year, units sold. Can you tell something about your background?
Sure. I've been a real estate agent now for 10 years and with Keller Williams for 8. Last year I think it was 60 million. I think I sold 40 homes and it was busy. What else? Sorry, I missed that other question, Carlos.
Oh, I was just saying, tell something about yourself, and then where are you as versus your track? I mean, your goals for the year, and then maybe a great story you can share about authenticity and how it made you, get where you are. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually on my way to my Q3, Q4 planning session. So that's where I'm off to right now. But I would say we are at 50% of our goal for the year this year. So we've got some work to do. You wanted a story about something authentic that happened in real estate that actually landed me a listing, which was kind of funny. It was going to be a competitive listing. I did the research. I showed up at the house. I knew it was an expensive house. So I did all the research, got the names, blah, blah. When I showed up, the young woman opened the door, and I was like, wow, this is a young woman for I think it was a $3.5 million home. And she's like, oh yeah, so like, why are you moving? And she's like, well, my husband's, it depends if my husband wins his game tonight. And I was like, okay. And I'm a massive hockey fan. And here's this NHL player's wife, and I'm staying their home, and I didn't recognize his name on the geo thing because not many NHL players live in the beach. So, anyways,
Right.
I started rattling off the fact that he was actually playing my hometown of Vancouver that night, and anyways, we just sort of started talking about that, and anyways, it was funny because I didn't know who he was, and anyways, I got the listing, so it was really funny how authentically it just kind of morphed.
It kind of flowed through. You just had a conversation, you just yourself. But a lot of people feel, I think a great question is like a lot of people feel that their self is not enough. And from how I've known you and how I've seen your videos, like there's one video where he just sat on by the beach, and then the beach in the background, and you did a 30-second video. I wish I prepared for that and show it on here, but maybe later. But you just made a 30-second video and it had a lot of hits. People loved it, and you just said, I'm sitting by the beach. Look at this listing. Meditate or drink beer.
Have a beer. Yeah, just accidentally came out of my mouth. But that's what I post. So for social media, I don't usually have. I don't have a script. I just kind of go for it. And I think that people appreciate sort of that off the cuff, genuine. And I'm not trying to be anything other than. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. But sometimes funny things happen, and then I post those. So just living in the non-fear of posting and putting yourself in a vulnerable position makes you seem real. And the one thing I learned from Family Reunion was at a social media course was if you can make them laugh and make them smile, and touch their hearts, you're going to gain some clients from that. So I always keep that in mind.
Awesome. I love it. I love the mindset. That said, maybe another question is, how do you start your day? Do you like really grab the camera? How do you prepare for being authentic in social media? Does it even mean that you have to prepare something, or authenticity means like, I have my morning face, just pull up a camera? Because some influencers do that, right? They say that it's authentic, but at some level they wake up wearing great makeup. So, male or female, regardless. So what do you think?
No, I don't actually plan anything. So, I mean, I'm probably not the best person to have on social media. Like John and Cheryl are amazing because they have a professional video, and it's just a different sort of style. It's an amazing. So you can kick me off here anytime. But what I just do is quite honestly, I post things that I find amusing and like really cute, like my puppy dog. And I also post real estate statistics. So I intermingle my real estate business. That's probably only about 25% of my postings. And then the rest is that they're organically getting to know me through my posts. And I do a lot of Instagram stories. And, whether it's not so much whether it gets me business because it's hard to track, but I think people get to know you. And over time, then they contact you and say, oh, by the way, I saw that you listed this, do you have anything like that coming up? So it for sure works. And it's something that I just really, really enjoy. And that's why I do it. I don't do it to get business. I actually do it to make myself laugh. And that's just the truth. That's it.
I was in mute. I love that answer. I believe that too. When you're doing something, you're doing it authentically, and you do it because you love what you're doing. It's the culture. It's yourself. Thank you, Barb, for that. We'll hop back with you later when we have all the panel and on one screen here, and then we'll ask more questions. Thank you. All right. So my next guest is someone from KW Experience up north. So he is Guy Gagnon. He is the real estate guy. Guy. And so Guy, real estate and customer service are his true passions. through his knowledge of marketing and helping people, he provides his clients with the best, customer service that he can possibly provide. Um, Guy always ensures that buying and selling processes is as smooth as possible. Social media is another of Guy's expertise. I mean, the posts. In my opinion, the posts are just awesome. He creates great content. He's always authentic with himself and has helped him grow his business by generating leads and clients with those posts. So without further ado, let me present to you Mr. Guy Gagnon, the guy, the Guy. Hi, Guy. How you doing?
Guy, the real estate guy. Yeah.
Guy, the real estate guy.
Yeah. Thanks for the warm welcome, Carlos. Happy to be here. Yeah. What do you want me to say? Just what I'm up to?
So my question, same question. How did you get where you are? Where are you with your goals versus targets? And maybe you can share something like a story about how authenticity works for your business.
Sure.
As it stands. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I've been in business 7 years, all here at KWE. And last year, I don't know the actual volume, but about 24 deals. So, average pricing last year is probably around the 550 mark. So you can do the math. This year, I've got 11 deals closed, 4 or 5 in the books written. And so we're about 50% of my target. So just like Barb, got to step it up a little bit for Q3 and 4, and maybe I'll pick her brain as far as how the planning went. The first story that came to mind, working on social media and thinking, because I'll tell you something about social media and me.
Sure, go ahead.
Before I got into real estate, I did websites part-time on the sales side and did a little bit of social media marketing, and then got into real estate and was so glad to get away from a computer and just get with people, because that's why I got into real estate. And then 7 years later, on my own, managing social media again, it's like, no, you can't make me. I don't want to. Don't make me. And Carlos is pushing me to do some more, and I'm seeing awesome stuff from other agents, and then of course the success that they're receiving from that, or gleaning from their social media posts. So if I'm going to do it, first of all, I'm not going to do the tedious, boring stuff. So if you look at my social media, at least 50% of it's posted by someone that I hire, because I don't want to create stats, but once in a while I'll take a pic of my kids, and do something like what we're up to. Big part of me is, where I came from on the farm down southwestern Ontario. So when I go visit, I share that kind of stuff. I haven't been terribly active the last couple of weeks because I've been working on a backyard project, but I'll soon have, I'm going to start posting some of that stuff. But my favorite one, when Carlos got me moving into creating some more social interaction, is I'm mountain biking with the kids. It's one of the things we do. And so I'm trying to take a video. So I'm mountain biking without a GoPro and with my phone in one hand. So I've got a couple of videos of some, just small crashes, which are kind of fun. So, it's I could either be promoting GoPro or real estate with some of those posts, but that's, having some fun with it, getting off the bike and just, getting ahead of the kids and turning around and taking a video of them coming through and promoting some of the local trails, some of the reasons why we love this area, and all of that outdoor activity stuff, skiing in the winter when we're on the chairlift. That's why we moved here, and that's why I want to promote the area. And it makes it easy to do that because we're just enjoying things that we do normally every day.
Thank you. Well, I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you're not pretentious. Obviously, you just post it as is. I just went to your Facebook page, and I'm just gonna go here and check out Guy's post. Do you think
this is okay? So
can you tell us something about this? Yeah,
this is like the third one I think I put up since going on my own, and every other time either my clients have been there or like a neighbor said, "Hey, can I take the picture for you?" I'm like, "Yeah, please." I hate taking selfies. So anyway, there you go. Yeah. But what's funny is This isn't getting me new business yet. What it's doing though, like my neighbor is a real estate agent, and they said, a week ago, like, hey, like you're doing a great job on social media. Like, is that you doing all of it, or is it someone else? Actually, I could share my screen here quickly too.
Go ahead.
This is all my other tabs, but this is just Instagram, and like there, out of those, like I have someone else do this. This is something I found. Barb, you love this if you're a baseball fan. I just found this in the basement of this old home during an inspection, right? Like, what is this? And you actually get comments, like people share a comment on stuff like that. Fun stuff like this.
That's the video.
Yeah, a little video. But they just asked, what are you doing? Is it you doing it, someone else? I said, yeah, most of it's someone else. But I think the important thing is consistency. And then, say friends at church, like I said, not new business. The point was a lot of friends and neighbors and whoever are starting to just notice because I'm being more consistent.
I have a question. Don't you get afraid that, or cautious that whatever you post, might turn off people, like for example, luxury clients or someone that's not your niche? Is this something that you're worried about, or have you considered?
Well, yes and no. I only agreed to go on this panel because my wife finally only agreed to cut my hair 2 weeks ago. That last one, that sold sign you shared 2 minutes ago, like, I mean, I was not taking my picture for anything, but I sold a house. I got to do that sold post. And that's like 3 months worth of not getting my hair cut. And I'm hating it. I can't look at myself in the mirror, let alone subject other people to that. So,
you have a question. So here's another post. So this is you and your family posting bee pictures.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us how this helps your business if you post something like this? Does it help in any way? I mean, someone like me would say, oh, it doesn't show anything about real estate. How is that going to help my business?
Yeah, a good question. So you're right. It's nothing at all about real estate. That again, look at that. That's a horrible selfie. Look at my damn smile. Make a selfie. Anyway.
But then, I know for a fact that people love this. Your clients love this. It shows that you're a great person to work with. You build relationships because of this. And what is that something that you're experiencing when you post something like this?
Well, it's funny, you put a stat up, you put a picture of a house up, and it gets however many views and one comment maybe. Like this one's 182 views, 2 comments, which is not huge. The last one you were at with the pic of us with our bee suits on, that was 14 comments. The first one, right there.
Oh, here. Yeah, here.
With the white suits, that's 14 comments. So when those people comment, what that's doing is it's using the algorithms to say, oh, well, this is relevant content, or this person like me, Gagnon, that's relevant content for these people, right? And so when I post the next thing, it's going to be that much more visible for them, or the chances of it showing on their feed is greater because it's relevant content. So if you do stuff like this, which catches people's attention, or you ask someone's opinion on something, ask them what their favorite park is in the neighborhood, like whatever it is, best restaurant, like ask them about those types of experiences. Like today's Winning Wednesday, asking people to share a win, what's their best win, stuff like that. It's not really about real estate, but it's engaging, and anything that elicits engagement, comments, shares, likes, is going to help when you do post something real estate related, because then that will also then show on the feeds.
Thank you. Perfect. I love it. Thank you. Last question for you is, I know you're a planner because we help you, we try to build command, we set it up, but yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's you try to make it work and look at that at its best and make the best of stuff, right? When you do social media, same thing I asked Barb, how do you prepare? Do you prepare at all? Do you pick the best camera? How do you make your content?
Good question. So as I mentioned, a fair bit of it, like designs in Command. That's where a lot of the stats and those kinds of things come in. Sometimes I'm just lazy. I take the pictures and I send them to my assistant, my VA, and they prepare the post and put them up. They use they use a scheduling post, which posts on Instagram and all together. It's called Later.
Oh,
yeah.
So
Later, the free version posts on 4 different channels. So sometimes I'm lazy and I just do that. What I have in my notes, so I use my iPhone, just it's an iPhone 10. So whatever camera comes with that, I don't use anything special. And I don't use a special microphone unless it's a video the videographer is doing when I'm introducing a new listing. They have a mic. So, just wait for the cars to stop driving by or wait for the wind to die down and do the audio if you're doing a video.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. So as far as planning, no, like that Montreal Expos things, which is just a little thing of just happened to be in a house. I take the pic, send it. That was cool. If you see something kind of weird, odd, like I can't believe I found this in a house. Actually, I have one I have to post still. I was looking at a house up north, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen a skylight in the closet before. Well, yeah, it's because the roof is like non-existent in the closet. There's literally rotting roof, and you can see outside. So
you take a picture of it.
Yeah, so take a picture, take a little video, like this is, hey, I'm going to show you the favorite feature of this house, whatever. And it's just like Barb said, just be funny. If things strike you as funny, they'll probably strike other people like you as funny as well.
Yeah, people think too that when you say be funny, they have to be funny. I mean, it's just what you think as funny, right? Like sometimes they think it's easy to sit here and present like this. But what I always say is just throw out all the self-respect you have and just show up and just do it. And it works. And it works.
That's right. The only thing I'm planning, actually, next time I do this is like some shadow or whatever. You said you talked about. I've got a shiny forehead. Look at that. I got to move the spotlight. Anyway, no, the only thing I'm planning is, a little bit of like, if you're farming in the area, showcase the area. So we're going to be doing a few little videos of some of the parks in the neighborhood that I like working in. Some of the parks, some of the restaurants, some of the, what would attract people to this neighborhood that I'm farming. And so I'm going to have someone come and do some videos, and we're going to pick a few places. And then what I can do is I can tag those businesses. So I can tag those parks on social media. So anything that has a social media presence, we'll spotlight them and they'll reciprocate. So
like you're saying like use the location, the area and familiar places, and use that in the content as you do what you're doing, what you like doing, right?
Yeah, that's right. So great. I'm literally thinking this on the spot. So an idea might be, hey, with reopening, right? Businesses are reopening, patios, whatever it might be. If you have a favorite patio, especially if it's an area you're farming, message them on social media and say, hey, I'm going to be doing a social media post. I'm going to be promoting your business. I want to come and have a burger and the beer or something like that. And I'm do a little video, and I'm going to promote you at the same time. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do something like that. I see a couple comments here coming in as far as hashtags. I have. Yeah.
Why not? Jeffrey is asking, are you using the same hashtags for each post?
I am, because those are specific hashtags I'm trying to gain traction with. They're ones that are used generally with real estate, but also with our, like, say, Barry real estate hashtag, or I think Barry Dads is one of them. Like there's a bunch. If I'm doing something specific, or if I want to do something for a local business, I'll just delete one off my normal list because I've used the maximum amount in there, and add the other one more up in the body. But I don't put them all right up because, they see the text, they don't want to see all the hashtags. So just do a bunch of enters and then put the hashtags at the bottom.
Awesome. And do you have any software I mean, websites that you recommend to get a list of working hashtags? I know a lot of social media, based realtors, they have a site and they filter the best hashtags that are available, and then they use command and then plug it in there on their campaigns and use as tag on a post. Use
I'd
that?
say your best research is other successful realtors who are using social media well, and find out what hashtags they're using.
That makes sense.
I said that, but the short answer is I don't know. Someone else did them for me. I keep them in notes, and every time I do a post, I go to notes, I copy and paste it.
Smart. Yeah, I absolutely. It's already there, and sometimes when you use this hashtags are already there, it's what's happening on the market. It's live, and you just use that. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Well, Guy, thank you for that. We'll hop back to you later. Thank you for sharing. I love the authenticity that you shared, and I absolutely love the family post that you make. Just makes me, feel great when I see that. Okay, so my last but not the least people to invite. Let me introduce John and Cheryl. Together, they put J&C into J&C Toronto Realty, which, by the way, made that ad of ours amazing. People are their passion. Real estate is their expertise, and their use of social media has helped them tremendously by promoting their business, by generating leads and clients. I can personally say, I mean, their videos, when I see them, like in our market center, and everybody here knows this, we wait for that, whatever they're going to show, because it's well made, beautiful looking couple. So here you are, J&C.
Hey.
John and Cheryl, hello. Welcome to the show.
I just want to preface this with one thing. Just because we can create these, professionally produced videos, and I have a little bit of a background with that, that is not really what, in my opinion, creates authentic posts. It's nice, it's visually pleasing. I think Cheryl, with her phone, her Insta stories, and our candid stuff, I think creates a lot more engagement than the expensive looking, flashy listing videos, drone shots. So while it's nice to have that as a tool in our toolkit, I don't think that's really much of the authenticity part of what it is that we do on social media.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's it. I'm turning it over to Cheryl because she's good.
So thank you for that. Very interesting. I'll loop back to that later. Let me just ask the same thing I asked them. Our first the few panelists, right? So where are you now with your targets, and how's the social media piece helping you? And do you have any stories to share about authenticity in social media that you find work for you, that people might benefit from?
Actually, Carlos, I put together a whole list of stuff.
Oh, wow.
She's always prepared.
And I'm going to hijack you a little bit after we talk about who we are, but I put a how, the why, some notes, and how we have come to where we are.
Well, I'm sure the 60 people on the call right now would love to hear that. So yeah, take it away.
Okay, so first we'll just go over numbers. In 2020, John and I had 48 transactions. I did not separate landlord, tenant, buyer, and seller, so it's about half and half. We did 22.5 million last year. This year we're at 28 so far, and we're at 17 million. So just like Guy and Barb, we're about 50%, and we need to get a move on because time flies by in the second half of the year, as we all know.
It'll be 4 years in real estate in July.
Yeah,
so,
we're almost at our 4-year anniversary.
Almost 4 years.
And yeah, so that's what we've done. Social media for John and I wasn't, we weren't focusing on that as a way to get business. We just knew that we needed to have some social proof when we started doing real estate. So we got ourselves a Facebook page, and we have an Instagram page and all of that. And I was just trying out Insta stories. So that's where we really focus our authenticity in. And I was having fun, and I was getting a lot of engagement from friends and the few clients that we did have. And then we just sort of, the direction morphed itself. So that to everything we're talking about today about being authentic, it authentically happened for us that it was working well for us. Then I started following some of our clients, or I'd follow them as soon as we were done a transaction, and they started following me back. And now they're our highest percentage of people who watch our stories. So if we get on average 350 people watching my story, I'd say 200 at least are clients, friends who they said, you got to follow John and Cheryl or whatnot.
Wow.
And when I share it to the JNC Toronto group, because I almost always will tag JNC Toronto and then reshare on our JNC Toronto group, it's almost all realtors who watch our stories.
Yeah.
So
Really?
Yeah, much more engagement from her personal Instagram page.
There's a handful of our clients that watch and will watch on both as well, which is always interesting to me that they'll watch the story twice. But we get, and it's not necessarily realtors from like close by. They're realtors from everywhere. We have realtors in LA following us, realtors in Vancouver following us. So I almost feel like our JNC Instagram has turned into, which isn't a bad thing, sort of a learning tool. People are getting ideas from us, from what we do.
Are you you're saying that the network is more realtors than clients?
For the JNC Toronto Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Okay, for Instagram.
It's a lot of our clients follow me. And the reason why is something both Barb and Guy talked about is relationship building and engaging in a way other than real estate, right? They start to see who we are as people. So people are more interested in who John and Cheryl are, peek behind the curtain of what we're doing in real estate versus our pretty real estate posts, right? So we had this back and forth, John and I, for a good year about whether or not to focus all of it into JNC Toronto or to keep Cheryl active as a real estate thing. And we just because it's led us that way, we've decided to keep with me doing the personal and real estate stuff and then sharing it on JNC Toronto group to show all the realtors that are following us what we do.
And it may have, I think, led to a couple of referral opportunities. So you don't want to say, oh, it's just realtors that follow you, because realtors outside of your market could be a revenue opportunity for a real estate team in referrals.
And that might be somebody's focus. Like there may be a realtor who focuses on referrals. We get those kind of emails all the time, right? So that would be a great way to say, hey, listen, this is social proof. If you have somebody moving to my area, I can help. We've used social media posts, and whether it be a professional post or Insta story, and Insta story especially, as mini touches. So if you have a touch system set up, consider them free touches. So it's not a 33 touch system. It's like 1,000 touch system, right? Because it might be passive. I try to always, what do you call it when you ask them if you need help at the end? Like the call to action. I try to do call to actions on my serious real estate posts. But a lot of it's just like, hey, here's free information and a little bit about us at the same time, but they're remembering.
What's an example of call to action? What do you mean? Like for the viewers? Like
I think you, Carlos, you probably have seen some of my Insta posts, or Insta stories. I will sometimes do walkthroughs of properties. Sometimes I will give, what to look for in a buyer agent. And then at the end, I'll say something like, if you need help, call JNC, but I'll always do it in something funny, like so that it's like, no pressure.
We're very soft sell, if anything. And if you look at a lot of her stories, she interrupts a lot of the real estate stuff with really goofy. That's the authentic side of things. She makes fun of me all the time. Like, seriously. Oh, sorry. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead. I always interrupt her during her stories too.
Always,
it's like,
always. Well, that's part of who we are. Authentically, it has grown into what it is because we've let it naturally happen. And we know that, you can't come on and listen to us and do exactly what we're going to do, because to be authentic is to be yourself. And so us being part experts, so we share expert advice and we'll give our opinion on the market or stats or whatnot. And it's part silly. So I make fun of and we know we get a ton of engagement with me making fun of John. So it's like, first it upset him and he saw tons of people were commenting and laughing. So now it's part of our spiel. And then he'll walk through my shots. I'll be like, this is a beautiful bathroom. And John makes a face as he's walking through my video of it or whatever. And I'll do some talking to the camera, which I find very boring, which is why what he just said, that I mix it up. Say if I know I've talked for 10 slides, I'll throw in a commercial break and this is John with mustard on his shirt,
Here's some delicious tacos.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you were saying? No, go ahead.
No, like Cheryl will say, and here's a break for this awesome restaurant where you had tacos.
And then tag the taco restaurant.
So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. I'm noticing a lot of. I'm learning a lot of small, valuable tips. Did you get to learn? How did you get to learn this? Did you learn it as it happens? Did you get trained? Or what an awesome, authentic answer, confident answer. But no, seriously, did you get to learn this as you kept doing this? Did you already have this? Do you have a background for it?
I've always been into so when John and I first met, we had these discussions about Facebook and how Facebook was constantly changing algorithms and they're constantly adding things in the settings. And so I was already really into what's new, how can I make this work for me? And so when Insta Stories started, I just started playing with it to see what worked. And you have to sort of dig deep to find out because the algorithms are always changing. When we first started, they said, oh, post 1-minute videos, that will get you the most engagement. So we did, and that was great. But now we get hardly any engagement on our videos. And I know it's because Facebook and Instagram have changed their algorithms, which they're constantly doing. So we try not to sort of get caught up in that. We just see if something's stopping working, we just try something different. So it's constant trial and error, which when we get to the hows and whys, I think that if you're going to use social media, it doesn't work well for some parts of social media. It don't work well for people who like to be very regimented because you have to be able to sort of go with the flow and adapt with what changes are happening in social media.
Interesting.
We also,
I like you. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Because we're a personal account, or I'm a personal account, I don't want to bore my friends who maybe or maybe not are going to ever do any kind of real estate transaction with us. So when I first started doing it, part of the reason why I was putting so much personal stuff in there interspersed was to keep my friends interested. But it in turn has helped us to relationship build with our clients and our potential clients because they get to see who we are. We've met people on Zoom for listing appointments or buyer appointments and who've been like, oh, I've seen your stories. I already knew what you look like. So it's weird. It's and kind of cool. We're like pseudo celebrity. I totally did all about John's haircut. When in COVID, when he made me cut his hair, I put it on Insta Story. And when he cut his own hair, I Insta Storied it because I was like, people are gonna, it's all authentic. It's people are gonna want to see this. They know who we are. You make that assumption that they're watching your stuff. So what can you bring to them that's entertainment? And entertainment for one person might be, a haircut. And entertainment for another might be a rundown of all the stats. And our goal was not to necessarily gain business when we started this. It was, we just knew we needed this part, social media, to be part of our business somehow. And has it gotten us business? Absolutely, 100%. It's social proof, right? So people see you constantly. They see that you're in the business. And people always assume that if you're posting, it's because that's your business. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, this isn't our listing, but here you go. And people are like, oh, great listing you had. And I can't believe you got such a great result. I'm like, I said it wasn't our listing, but it's an assumption, right? It's that social proof. So I did a breakdown of the how. So every person is going to be a little bit different. And you're going to want to choose a platform that you're most comfortable with. And probably the most popular right now for real estate is Facebook, and then Facebook stories, which is something different, Instagram and Instagram stories. And it's generally different people who use those platforms. And then TikTok, which is a whole other thing. And I'm not 100% sure TikTok is getting people business because you might get 1,000 likes on something or 1,000 views, but they're probably not from Toronto. They're the TikTok, it could be in China. It's just the algorithms in TikTok, I don't think are good yet to focus on a specific area. And I don't know if that's gonna come down the pipeline eventually, but choose the one you're most comfortable with, one that you maybe know a little bit about already and that you can dig a little deeper and just start trial and error. You want to see what works best for you, what feels like it matches your personality, the message that you're trying to get across, and you want to feed engagement. And that's something I think Guy had mentioned as well, because that helps the algorithms, right? So you want people to make comments, you want people to like it, and you can sometimes force engagement by asking questions. In Insta Stories, you can do polls. So, or, drop me your email if you want to be a part of our e-newsletter. Just get some sort of thing out there that engages the people that are looking at your social media. The why, to get business, obviously. And we don't touch on this, but there's sponsored ads also with social media. And I don't know so much if that, we don't use that at all for any kind of relationship building. We do that a lot of times to make our clients happy because we haven't had great luck with the leads that come in. But that doesn't mean, I know that some other areas have had really great luck with the leads that come in.
Yep.
And then the biggest reason why we wanted to do all of this with social media was a really easy way to get social proof. And it, like, everyone has some sort of social media. So it's, you don't have to go and, you know, wave a flag or put a sign up. Like 1,000 people will see a post that says, look at me, look what I just did. And as long as you don't sound like you're a braggy little pain in the arse, like people will be like, oh, good for you. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, try to be humble. And for us, especially when we were brand new, I think the social proof side of things, when you're not necessarily doing a ton of business, is really, really important for newer agents. And then to be top of mind, no matter what, it's always about being top of mind.
And actually, this is the conundrum, is that you want to be posting when you're busy, but I have been so busy lately that I have not posted for, like, I've posted maybe 2 or 3 times in the last couple of months. And I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, do it. But because we're busy, I haven't had time. And also because I try to be authentic, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm tired and I'd rather go to sleep, like I can't get my mind around it. So it has to happen when I'm feeling it.
Wait. So you're saying if not feeling well, your suggestion is don't.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to be authentic, obviously, like, I fight with this all the time because you want it to also be consistent. I think, like, so I put notes to keep in mind that the algorithms change. Being consistent is part of the game. But if you want to be authentic, if you force it, people will notice that. They'll feel that from you, right? So I don't use a script, just like Barb and Guy, but I have to curate my stories so that they are cohesive. And so I'm constantly filming, and I have tons of stuff I could put together and put on Insta story. But if I don't feel like it, and I don't think it's going to be the same vibe we already have out there, I don't want to water it down either, just to have something for the sake of having something. Yeah, so, and I like it to be interesting. So I'm constantly trying to put myself in the shoes of whoever it is that might be looking at it, whether it's somebody interested in real estate or not. And so it takes a lot of effort to do that. It's bad. I don't suggest letting it fall off your plate the way that I sometimes do, but it's a balance. And I only look at social media as work now. I don't sit and go through social media just for fun anymore. So, many realtors are using social media, and the best way to set yourself apart from those realtors is to infuse you and your personality into everything that you do. Because like Barb said, there's only one you, right? Because your brand is you. Are you analytical? Are you stats oriented? Are you funny? Do you have a flair for design and decor? Are you an area expert? Are you pushing a neighborhood? All of those things can help you also decide who it is and what the message is that you want to be putting out there with your social media. And also keep in mind, once you start having your clients follow you, that you just have to be mindful of your audience. You know, like, there are realtors who will drop F-bombs like crazy, and that's the kind of client that they're looking for. Yeah. But, you know, like, for us,
drinking on a patio like 5 or 6 times a week, you're like, okay.
You might get that kind of a person, which is fine if that's the message you're trying to send out. But for me, because I do have a bit of a trucker mouth, I have to be very careful because I don't want our clients to know how much of a trucker mouth I have.
Who filters more with that? Is it John or you?
A bit of each.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, as far as even hiring somebody, he and I have had many discussions about, should we hire somebody so that there is more consistent posting? And we've both said no, because we would lose my voice, which is, we know it's like, I went from having like 400 followers when we started in real estate. Now I have 1,200. So, I mean, I don't want to lose that feeling. Maybe someone to post like just our stuff on Facebook business page or our Instagram page, just to have posts up there about business or listings
something
and
that
stuff.
is scheduled, like maybe 1 or 2 a week. That could be some interesting real estate related stuff. But then we're always going to like intersperse that with personal stuff. Like you'll see a lot with my personal Facebook is mostly personal. It's only about 10% real estate. And that's on Facebook. And I'm not very active on Instagram, to be honest.
But all of this is, everyone knows John and Cheryl. It's not just Cheryl has a good Instagram. So suddenly, if I'm getting this good engagement from our clients, Now some of our clients follow him on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, you know, they see it, and if they see like a personal post from him, it's all in connection with what they've already seen with me.
And the personal posts get 10 times as many likes and 5 times as many engagement as our
Wow.
So you need it.
On Facebook, especially.
Yeah.
So are you saying that now that they're following you, they become sphere of influences? They become stronger sources of relationship building?
I think that actually what this has helped us the most with, if I could probably break down numbers, is created advocates for us from our clients who we've done transacting with. So, I mean, I think that you don't there's no number you can put on that. It's priceless, right? For people to be like, hey, I watched this story. One of our clients, she's constantly getting people to come watch our stories. Like she's just like, oh, go check it out, it's fun.
Free advertisement, right? Free following.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there were some questions about editing, and I'm not sure if someone was asking about editing Cheryl's stories.
Jeffrey asked. Well, let's ask it. Well, before that question, thank you. Is there more or?
No, that's probably it.
Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit messy and invite everyone in here. I don't know if Barb is still here, but I'm gonna bring in Guy and me on here. And so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ask a few questions, and while I ask them, people on this call, feel free to post your questions or raise your hand, and we'll give the opportunity to ask away, ask authentically, and find out, you know, grab what you can with their answers. All right. So my question that I wrote down was, are you worried of all losing followers? Is that something that you keep in mind, that if I do this, might lose followers? Oops, like I lost 5 followers today. Should I stop what I'm doing?
I couldn't tell you how many followers I have right now. It's like,
Can I say, you probably agree with this? No, because it's like when you don't get a listing or a buyer, right? Like if you focus on what you focus on expands, Carlos.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you might want to be mindful of deeply divisive opinions, because you will lose potential followers. But you know, if you're passionate about something, you should be passionate about you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. If you're going to be posting that kind of stuff and people are so anti whatever it is that you're trying to put out there, then maybe you don't want to work with those types of people. We try to be a little bit more, it's the word I'm looking for, neutral, Switzerland, like when it comes to these types of things, but it's our personality. It's not.
But to answer your question, Carlos, we don't, and I'm sure Guy, you were saying that too. We don't know our followers.
Yeah, no. I think the more important thing is, like, if that is, if as someone else does worry about that, like what's the, how do you repair that thinking? And I think it's change your focus, right? Like Cheryl said, so you know what? No, I'm doing this post because I want to engage with some other people who like this too, or I want to I want to get new followers who will appreciate this. And that's just, you know, you should focus on that.
Positive.
Thank you. All right. I guess the word you were looking for, John, there is inclusive, like inclusive, like making sure that everyone can be part and can relate to the post. I just, you know, saw that in the research before this. Anyway, my next question is, what if, and I know a lot of people who are in this call is asking this, what if my personality is not for social media and I want to start, but how do I go about that?
Who decides that their personality is not for social media? You have to try some stuff, and then you'll figure out what social media and what kind of way of presenting works for you.
Yeah.
Have a few drinks first.
Might help.
Sorry, we have Dan here. Dan, sorry, what did you say? Go ahead.
Oh, I said have a few drinks first. You'll think your personality is great after about third or fourth beer or fourth glass of wine. It's worked for me for 40 years. I can't complain.
Go Habs. Okay. Anyone has questions? Come on. So the question is, what do you use to edit your videos?
Yeah.
So for the professionally kind of shot and edited videos, I use Final Cut Pro 10. I've also got Adobe Premiere Pro on my machine, and I do some motion graphics as well with After Effects. So that's that side of things. What Cheryl uses,
just whatever's in Instagram or Snapchat. Sometimes I'll film my stuff on Snapchat or TikTok, download it, and then put it on if I'm feeling like I need a good face filter.
Yeah.
But I just play with whatever's already there.
You can go to Google and look at free video editors programs for your phones. Filmora Go is one that I know is pretty popular a couple of years ago. I haven't used those types of things, but there's so much actually within your social media apps now that you can do editing and adding graphics and all that kind of stuff.
What's here's another. Oh, Guy, what do you use for creating? Do you have software to recommend or no?
Whatever comes with the phone.
Whatever.
Yeah. If I'm
posting
posting
it works, it works.
Yeah. If I'm posting it, if whatever comes with the phone or the app that I'm using, and I don't think there's anything fancy that my virtual assistant uses either. So if I take something and I am having a down day like Cheryl, but I want it to be posted, I just email or send it over to my virtual assistant and say, here, create a cool post. Because it's the social media part. And guys, I hate it. I really do. But I know it needs to be done. So I'll take pictures, I'll have some fun, whatever. Hey, that's cool. Look, the neighborhood cat's peeing on the garden again. And I just, here, do a post.
Thank you. All right. Well, here I have someone to ask a question here. One of the amazing market center tech trainers in Canada, I have Mr. Robert Chatterton. Yes, Mr. Robert, you have a question for us. Go ahead.
It's more of a comment and just kind of what I heard as I kind of listened through all of this. And one of the things that I think I was hearing from everyone that I really loved was, we're talking about being authentic. And I think when you want to cultivate a look, a feel in your video, makeup, whatever it may be, that doesn't mean you're not being authentic. That means you're not being spontaneous. And what I think I'm hearing is the engagement that you guys get, some of these posts, is from when you're being most spontaneous and living in the moment that they can relate with. And I think what I want people to realize is that by having makeup, by having a certain look and feel in your videos, that doesn't mean it's not you. That's who you are. Just make sure that that person matches up with who they meet in person. So I thought that was really cool. When we talk about the algorithm changing, I think the whole big thing that you want to remember, Facebook tells us this time and time again, it's what I love with our Keller Williams partnership, is your goal is to stop the scroll. That's it. If you can have them filtering through and you stop the scroll, that's the algorithm working in your favor. So what you want to do when you're creating these posts, I loved hearing about engagement. And if you're struggling for ideas, just go to Dr. Google, look up Google and say, what are the most engaging posts, and make it your own. I really wanted, I had to jump out of my seat when I heard the question in the chat say, that's not me. I'm not socially, online. And when I learned this very quickly. I'm not the best looking guy. I don't have the great head of hair and all this sort of stuff. And what I learned was, who cares? You go out and you meet people, tell yourself, I talk to people all the time. My family loves me. My friends love me. It doesn't matter what I look like. It's my personality that needs to come through. And that's what I think is also important. When I heard JNC talk about it over and over again, was it's about being authentic, you, and how, you don't want to necessarily get someone else to do your social media. I heard very early on in my career that having someone else do that for you, the mundane posts, the average ones, that's great, scheduling, but the actual ones, that's like having someone go to a party for you.
Yeah.
It's the most unauthentic thing you can do. What you want to do is those main posts, those things, that really has to be about you. So I literally, as I walked through all of your presentation and this thing, and I think you guys did so amazing, what I loved is, this is everything that I've already kind of heard in a much more impactful way. Like, you guys are truly, truly spectacular because you're getting the results. And I just really appreciate it. So it was just awesome.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Robert. Such an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're wrapping up. I'd like to first thank you, JNC, John, Cheryl, Guy, and Barb, who just had to run. thank you for being here, for spending time with us, for helping this with the show, and for teaching us what you've shown us today, for authenticity, for just being yourself. I'm gonna wrap up too, but wait, we have 1 more minute. Can I ask like one last suggestion, very short? What can you suggest to people who want to start being authentic in social media and have a good following for the business? Guy,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Do a post before 2:15. Just go out and do something.
Just do it.
Absolutely.
Anything.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to ask, why 2:15?
Because it means you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
it now.
right.
Don't procrastinate.
Thank you. All right,
Yeah.
On the water. The water.
John, Cheryl.
This is the same thing.
Just do
What's-
it. Don't be afraid. Dip your toe in the water. The water's fine. And once you finally get your whole body in there, it's like, it's like nice and warm.
You have to
Never
start.
cold.
You have to start somewhere. So just do a post and keep it going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Actually,
there you go. Yeah, sorry, go
to
ahead.
add on what Robert had said as well. Hey, we're not all we're not all as good looking as J and C there. When I did my first video intro on a listing with the videographer, he's like, "Don't worry about your voice. Everyone hates their voice."
Yeah.
And it's true. When I heard myself, I was like, "That's not
Amen to that. Yeah.
Anyway, so don't worry about what you look like, what you sound like. Just go do it. You have 15 minutes.
Easy
Thank
said
you.
from another handsome guy.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you for being with us, and everyone who's here. Let me just say, for those who are looking for the recording for this session, please feel free to look at our databases. KW, you know where you go. For those who are lovely and fantastic visitors, please contact k.ellis@kw.com. We've posted on chat, and check and ask, and we'll ask and you shall receive. Let me leave you with this amazing quote by this person, Brienne Brown. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. And with that, thank you. We'll see you again on the next KW sessions presented by KW Advantage and KW Experience. Hope you got a lot from this. We'll see you soon, and we love you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Carlos.
Bye, Carlos.
Bye, Carlos. Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Teals. Bye, guys.
Bye. Yeah.